Hello, Lucia. Again. So today we're going to actually do a quick video about for the people who already have their own homes and what's their next step. So basically, a couple of things I want to talk about is in terms of the risk, because who is actually having a high risk? Whoever is renting, which is got mortgage free, they're renting, or someone that actually owns their own home, or the property investors. Okay, very often people kind of thinking about, obviously the higher the mortgage, you're probably having a higher risk. Not necessary, because the reality is whoever are renting, they probably actually have the highest risk. Because why? Because the rent expense will keep going up year after year. And I think we do a presentation in our workshop. We actually show people the numbers. So it's shocking to actually see that like when people they've been probably working for 20 years, later on they found themselves they still renting. They can go broke. However, whoever actually owns one property, yes, they kind of save, their risk probably actually reduced by 50%, go down to 50% now. But however, it's still a risk there that they cannot losing their own home. Okay. The other one is the property investors, that if they actually have a nice property portfolio, they're having some passive income coming in. This they're actually having the less risk, although they might have a bigger mortgages. But I mean, as you know, unfortunately, the Reserve Bank will continue printing money, especially after the crisis. This time, I think it's like $54 billion been printed there. So those money obviously going to push up the asset price, especially in properties. Okay, so that's one I want to talk about is that in terms of risk, if you're having own home, you still have a 50% risk. So you want to actually get into the property investment and reduce the risk and having the freedom to do what you can enjoy. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is how you can actually borrow 100%. Basically, you don't need to actually save out anything for your second property. So if you like 5 years ago you bought a place and it was at the time with purchase price of $500,000 and you're borrowing 90%, so it's $450,000, which is your borrowing all your mortgages. But now the value actually gone up nicely. Now it's probably going to be sitting at $1 million. So that means because it's an unoccupied house, you can actually get 80% from the bank. Even if it's investment property, we still have lenders, they are able to do 80% anyway. So that means you can actually borrow from the bank for $800,000. Minus your existing borrowing $450,000, that means that you would still have an available equity of $350,000. So this means that this $350,000 can be used to go to your next purchase. So if you're going to use for 20% deposit, so basically it's $350,000 divided by 20%. So that means the next house that you purchase can be actually $1.75 million. But of course, if it's investment property, it's probably 40%, that you can do, which is 875. So that's actually just the next for your next purchase. What can you do with that? Just basically 100% borrowing, recycle deposit. Okay, so now you're probably sitting there wondering how I'm going to afford this $1.75 million borrowing. Okay, so obviously the bank are looking at your servicing, your income plus the rental income. So your rental income might be from your existing house that you have, from the new purchase that new property that you are purchasing, the rental income from there, or even both. If it's both the house actually your rental property. So that's actually how we actually do the calculation and support your borrowing. All right, thank you.